What makes SpaceX's suits so good? Hello lovely YouTube family, welcome back to Tech and Vision. In today's video we're going to talk about what makes SpaceX's suits so good. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. According to Beacon, astronauts could see this type of training in order to prepare for the rigorous of spaceflight. Getting that level of fidelity of training hardware versus PowerPoints and virtual presentations of it, the suit, is really important from the operator's perspective, so that's a huge win. The SpaceX team stepped up to that and we really appreciate it. Some aspects of SpaceX's spacesuits have been kept secret, but the company has stressed that the suits are supposed to work in tandem in the big computer displays that astronauts will use to monitor Dragon systems and navigate to the International Space Station. According to NASA, each astronaut's outfit is constructed to order. NASA stated that SpaceX's spacesuit is intended to be functional, lightweight, and provide protection against probable depressurization. The suit's depressurization defense would be comparable to the ACES suit, which possessed an emergency breathing system and the capacity to fully pressurize if the cabin lost oxygen unexpectedly. A single connection point on the suit's thigh attaches the life support systems, including air and power connections, the agency says. The helmet is custom manufactured using 3D printing technology, includes integrated valves, mechanisms for visor retraction and locking, and microphones within the helmet structure. However, don't bet on SpaceX's suit for spacewalks. Astronauts will continue to utilize the Shuttle-era Extra Vehicle Mobility Unit (EMU) for the foreseeable future, which is intended to perform for 8 to 10 hours in a complete vacuum while providing radiation shielding for microgravity activities. For NASA's next Artemis mission, which intends to put men on the moon by 2024, the agency is developing more sophisticated spacesuits designed for the lunar surface. If all goes according to plan, the agency will test the lunar spacesuits on board for the International Space Station in 2023. The suits used by SpaceX are also different from those used by astronauts on Boeing's Starliner, the other commercial crew spacecraft. Tests are now underway to prepare the spacecraft for human flights, and astronauts who fly missions will wear blue spacesuits with touchscreen-sensitive gloves and more modern material. On NASA's website, you may learn about the Starliner spacesuit. Doug Hurley and Bob Beacon wore futuristic flight suits for Saturday's successful launch, which are a far cry from bulky orange shuttle flight suits that astronauts wore when they first launched to Florida's Kennedy Space Center. The gloves are touchscreen sensitive and the helmets are 3D printed. However, their principal function remains the same, to protect crew members against depressurization, which occurs when the capsule loses air. The suit also guarantees the astronauts have enough oxygen and maintain a comfortable temperature. A single umbilical wire in the seat hooks into the suit and provides communication links and breathable air. The Starman suits are made entirely of one piece and are tailored to the astronaut. Jose Fernandez, a costume designer who worked on Captain America: Civil War and Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, created their style. However, they are only intended for use within the SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule and are not appropriate for use on spacewalks. Boeing CST-100 Starliner spaceship has a contract with NASA to transport humans to the ISS. It is designed a pressure suit to keep astronauts safe during critical launch and re-entry stages. SpaceX's sleek new spacesuit, designed by Hollywood costume designer behind Batman's iconic rubber six-pack, combines the strong lines of culture tuxedo with the utopian idealism of vintage sci-fi. How did they get it to be that slim? Is this the same outfit that Elon Musk wore behind the wheel of his cherry red Tesla Roadster when he rocked into the void? Veteran NASA astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Beacon launched a test voyage to the International Space Station from Florida in May of last year. They were not only making history, but they were doing so in their private SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft atop the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. They were also outfitted in similar SpaceX spacesuits for the flight. Despite their appearances as off-brand stormtroopers or the Stig from Top Gear, Bob and Doug were enthusiastic about their snazzy new high-tech garb. Bob exclaimed, "We'd give the outfits a 5-star rating." Doug remarked, "They're a lot simpler to get in and out of in zero-G." Both acknowledged that the new SpaceX suits were far better than the bulky orange pumpkin suits that were popular during the shuttle's program prime. So what exactly are the new SpaceX suits for? It's crucial to note that no one is planning on doing a spacewalk on anyone anytime soon. They're only meant to be worn during rocket launches and landings to avoid the tragic loss of 3 cosmonauts on the Russian Soyuz 11 mission in 1971. All 3 cosmonauts, George Dobrovolsky, Valvid Volkov, and Viktor Patsazev, died in mid-flight as the Soyuz decompressed at 168 kilometers above sea level. As a result, these new garments are intended to act as emergency bubbles of Earth-like pressure in the event of a disaster. According to SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, they've been carefully tested under what he refers to as double vacuum pressure with astronauts inside. Bob Beacon explains, "Who can put on suits and go through a scenario where the outfits expand?" Beacon is quick to point out with the old-school pumpkin costumes, no such training was offered. Doug Hurley, amazed, adds, "The degree of training, the importance of PowerPoints versus virtual presentations can be overstated. It's a great victory. These new suits are flameproof and designed to keep the occupants cool using piped-in ventilation, in addition to keeping astronauts alive in an emergency decompression situation. The astronaut's chair, which was created in tandem with the suit so that all pieces of equipment are totally compatible, is where this cooling air and gases for all that all-important pressurization comes in. The suit is connected to the body through an umbilical cord that connects discreetly at the thigh. At this stage, electrical and communication wires enter the suit. The new space helmet shields users from the engine's terrifying decibel level and includes microphones and speakers for clear two-way communication between the crew and mission control on the ground. The high-tech helmet, which is 3D printed to order, has also have clever mechanics that govern visor retraction and locking, as well as the appropriate gas valves. Those smart gloves are capable of more than merely maintaining a safe ambient pressure over the astronauts' delicate palms. They've been designed to work with the Dragon capsule's built-in touchscreens. As a result, our astronauts are content and unaffected by a disaster. It's also light, 40% lighter than prior spacesuits, but that isn't the only thing that distinguishes them. Obviously, Mission Director Benji Reed explains it's meant to keep the crew safe. It is crucial, however, that the suit is also motivating, she says. Elon and his crew searched beyond the typical drab space hardware contractors to fulfill the inspiring goal. Instead, they enlisted the support of entertainment industry. Jose Fernandez is a well-known costume designer in Hollywood. From Wolverine to Wonder Woman, Spider-Man to the Avengers, the X-Men to Captain America, and more, his work has been worn by big-screen giants. Jose is so well known that he was originally invited to work on the SpaceX suit in 2016. He claimed he had no knowledge of the work of a small-time industrial named Elon Musk. Of the strange commission he got in 2016, Fernandez recalls, "I didn't even know what SpaceX was." Fernandez worked with the new SpaceX supervisor for several months, developing and redrafting concepts. Musk, as usual, requested that Fernandez draw his name inspiration from the realm of formal wear. "Anybody looks better in a tux, no matter what size or shape they are," he continued stating. According to Fernandez, as a result, the idea was to develop a spacesuit that looked less like a pumpkin and more like a pair of glitzy evening gowns. It's not going to be easy. Balancing aesthetics and function is really difficult. Musk says of the process, doing either individually is simple. Spacesuits are seen in movies, and though they appear to be functional, they are not. Because it's essentially a pressure suit that needs to live in a vacuum, you can create a spacesuit that functions but doesn't look beautiful. So how did they manage it? The new SpaceX suit includes subtly darker panels on the sides that provide a tapering effect, bending the astronaut's body into a more attractive shape. It's similar to a tuxedo. When you add in the macho squared off shoulders, sleek seams going from collarbone to knee, and the retro superhero appeal of knee-high boots, you can now see how they would raise attention on the launch pad one day. So slim to the finished suit, Indeed, Musk was forced to issue a clarification that it's actually real and not mere mock-up. It definitely works, he insisted. You can just jump in a vacuum chamber with it, it's fine. SpaceX Suits and Crew Equipment Manager Chris Trigg, himself a former Disney Imagineer, compares the new look suits favorably to those bulky old NASA jobs. One of the things that's cool about the suit is it's not just a piece of hardware, said Trigg in an official video. It's not simply a suit, says the narrator. It's a matter of taste. It's Bob's tuxedo, it's Doug's outfit, says the narrator. Both suits are custom made for astronauts to provide the best possible fit and comfort.
The total weight of the SpaceX suit is 20 pounds. That's a little heavy. Also, this specific spacesuit is made of fire-retardant Kevlar and Nomex, which is resistant to thermal, chemical, and radiation.
They were built in-house alongside SpaceX rockets and Capsule Space's Hawthorne production plant. You might wonder why bother making them fashionable in the first place. Musk urged Jose to design the suit with aesthetics in mind, and the two then collaborated on how to reverse engineer the design to make it fit for duty. However, when you think about it, the iconography of spacesuits has always been a question of taste. They're a terrific way to represent a nation's particular vision of the future, embodied in a suit adored by millions, if nothing else. The suits used on NASA's pioneering Mercury flights are seen by academies as excellent instances of this mechanism in action. The original plan was to create them in military green, but the designers decided on silver instead. Why? While the reflecting characteristics of silver were probably a small consideration, it's been suggested that they choose silver mostly because it looks so cool and futuristic. Naturally, image and branding are very important than ever during the 21st century setting of commercial space travel. For his Virgin Galactic Space program, Richard Branson, for example, has sought the expertise of apparel giant Under Armour to produce space-worthy apparel. Inspiring the next generation of astronauts is a priority for anybody interested in the future of space travel. According to celebrated spaceman Doug Hurley, "The biggest testament is my 10-year-old son telling me how cool I am." After putting on a suit for the big launch, Hurley told the Associated Press, in Elon's vintage cherry red roadster, one of SpaceX's suits is circling around the sun right now. By the way, the costume, dubbed Starman, is real, not a mock-up. Because Starman's umbilical thigh connection is broken, he will not inflate. You'd think being named after David Bowie's song, they'd make it under pressure. What do you think? Is styling a worthwhile consideration for modern-day space programs? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more high fashion tech content. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any amazing video from us.